Okay, this is now my phone up this way, which ain't supposed to be the way it's supposed to be, but does that look right? Can somebody tell me? I know a few of y'all are back on. I see 4 or 5 people on 14. Does that look right to you? Perfect. Really? God, I mean, this is the first time I've ever seen that happen. You did it. Oh, thank God. You know, I've never seen it happen like that. So I'll tell you what, we're going to make this very interesting. And I think it actually might be a cooler way to do a live stream. And that is that the camera is not sitting still. It just so happens I'm on vacation with some of my good friends from Nashville. And they could probably grab this phone and get the live shots. You want to be my live shot taker?
Why not?
You want to do it? Okay, here we go. All right, get rid of that thing. Like I can yank it up there. I can yank it down here. I can show you what's behind the scenes. Look at that. Oh, Chip, look at that. You say, well, what was your phone sitting on top of? A box of chips. That's what it was sitting on. There's my guitar. There's some Granny Rich Reserve. There's old red, white, and blue. Old Glory. And there's me. So, okay. Thank you for hanging in. Sorry, you guys. Okay, you ready? You want to do it live?
Let's do it.
Now, you have no way to see what's happening, do you?
I do. Ish.
You do ish? Okay. Well, we'll do the best we can, guys.
I just can't drink too much tequila in here.
Okay. Tip that sucker down just a bit. There we go. Well, this is the John Rich Happy Hour. It's not the smooth start I was hoping for, but what are you going to do, guys? COVID-19. COVID-19 is like the redheaded stepchild of all of our families right now. I mean, it just constantly jacks with you. I will tell you that every time I've done a live stream, I've always done it the same way, and it's always worked, so I don't understand why it ain't happening the same way now. I think it may have something to do with the fact that, I don't know, maybe Facebook just got in trouble with the government. Who knows? Who knows? Cuck it down just a little bit more. There we go. On the other side of this camera is one of my good friends, Shayla Black. Her husband is Ryan Black, who served in the U.S. Army and is a hell of a guy and a good friend of ours. And we actually took our families out here to Hilton Head, South Carolina, to let our kids run up and down on the beach for a minute. So thank you, Shelley, for running the camera tonight. Appreciate you. I hope your arm don't wear out. I thought I'd kick us off with some bluegrass music tonight. About 1928. Goes like this. Well, she walks through the corn down to the river. Her hair shone like gold in the hot morning sun. She took all the love that poor boy could give her and left me down like rocks on the run. Like falls, like falls, like falls on the run. We'll pour a glass of wine to fortify her soul. We'll talk about the world and the friends we used to know. Some bluegrass tonight on the John Rich Happy Hour. You having a good time out there, America? The camera looks weird to me, but I hope it looks okay to you. Can I get a yeehaw? There we go. I'm in that bluegrass mood. I don't know why. Just am. So I thought, you know, the one thing I haven't played on any John Rich Happy Hour, which I should have played a long time ago, is some Ricky Skaggs. And we've got any Ricky Skaggs fans out there. Of course, everybody loves Ricky. I remember this song growing up. Well, the people would come from far away and dance all night to the break of day. All over the holler out, goes to go, you want men was ready to go. Say late in the evening about sundown, down the hill in the town. Little old house rang, heard a song, heard a sing. Little played a song called Soldier's Joy, and played a one called a Boston Boy. First of all was Jenny Lynn, and me, that's where the feeling began. Come on, say late in the evening about sundown, down the hill in the town. Play the fiddle, Lord, how to ring, hear it talking, hear it sing. Hey! I'll never forget that mournful day when Uncle Ben was called away. Hung up his fiddle and he hung up his bone. He knew it was time for him to go. Sailing in the evening about sundown, high on the hill and above the town. Played the fiddle, Lord, how it rang. You hear it talk, you hear it sing. Sailing in the evening about sundown, high on the hill and above the town. Lord, how it rang. Hear it talk, you hear it sing. Sailing in the evening about sundown, high on the hill and above the town. Play the fiddle, Lord, how it rang. Hear it talk, you hear it sing. Ricky Skaggs, can I get a yeehaw from all my fans out there tonight? What can I read? Bluegrass and bourbon don't get no more Kentucky than that. That's exactly right. Don't get no more. I'd like to thank my friend Shayla Black for actually physically holding the phone up right now. Now, when Gary LaVox comes on tonight, it was set up where the camera would be this way. But for the first time ever, I think Facebook's just messing with me. That's what I think. Now you got to stand up this way. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But, you know, one thing we always did in Big and Rich is if you ever saw a Big and Rich show, you know we like to have a good time, right? I mean, if you're going to buy a ticket and you're going to stand out there in the heat and park and pay $10 for a beer or whatever, you know, you want to make sure you're having a good time at the Big and Rich show. So there was this one song. We don't do this song that much anymore, but I remember me and Kenny sitting around. We were just like, man, wouldn't it be crazy if Big and Rich covered an AC/DC song? And I've always said that Save Horse Ride a Cowboy sounded like an AC/DC song with banjo and fiddle. I've always said that. But what if we actually covered one? Well, if you actually covered one country style, if you could make AC/DC country style, it would sound like this. Well, honey, you shut me all night long. Yeah, honey, you shut me all night long. Well, she was a fast machine, kept the motor clean, was the best damn woman I'd ever seen. Had side to side, telling me no lie, knocking me out with those American thighs, taking more than a share, had me fighting for air. She told me to come, but I was already there, and the walls started shaking. The earth was quaking, my mind was aching, but we were making it. You sing it now, shook me all night long. Yeah, honey, you come on, you shook me all night long. another swing, and the walls started shaking. The earth was quaking, my mind was aching, and we were making it. Come on, America, shook me all night long. Yeah, honey, you shook me all night long. Yeah, honey, you bang, shook me all night long. Yeah, honey, you sing it with me. You shook me all night long. Yeah, you shook me. Yeah, you shook me all night long. That's Country Boys singing AC/DC. Can I get a yeehaw from all the live streamers out there tonight? Let me hear you one time. Thank you guys for joining. Man, don't you wish you were here? I wish I was there. It would be so great. Thank you for joining. I don't know if my phone's upside down or sideways, but everybody tells me it looks okay at this point. This woman's arm, she gonna have a forearm bulge when this is done. So thank you to Shayla Black for holding up my phone right now. Last weekend, Memorial Day weekend happened. And, I think people misunderstand that date to a little bit in our country, that when they say the phrase, Happy Memorial Day. I've said that a million times. Happy Memorial Day. Have a good time, guys. Happy Memorial Day. But when you ask our vets and you ask our active duty, they say you should probably never say Happy Memorial Day. Because it's not really necessarily happy, it's more of respect. Because Memorial Day is not about our vets or about our active duty. Memorial Day is about the men and women who actually died. The ones who actually gave the ultimate sacrifice. And man, it was such a pleasure to be able to memorialize them with a little country music. And there was a name I wanted to mention on my last live stream that I did not. And so I made a note to make sure I did it this time. And my buddy's name's Ryan Black, and he served in the U.S. Army for a few years, and I was talking to him about Memorial Day, and he said, man, if you wouldn't mind giving my buddy a mention, that would be great. But hey, up to you. I said, well, what's his name? What did he do? And so he told me who this guy was. Said his name was Joe Lusk, Lusk, and that he passed away January 21st, 2005, serving overseas. So I just wanted to make sure that I said his name, and not just his name, but what his name stands for. Is people that we will never know that gave the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Can I get a yeehaw out of America for that? Huh? That's the way we do it. Now, it is a happy hour, and we have yet to have a cocktail yet. So let's fix that problem right now. I got my little double red. See, people ask me, why do you have two? Well, insulation. Number one, insulation. But most people don't do that, so I know that's my cup. That's my cup. And I have a deal with Toby Keith that for every one red Solo cup I buy, I get 2 red Solo cups. So thank you, Toby Keith. Hey, let's make a toast to our country. A toast to getting through another week. A toast to just another tough week for our country, but here we are again on a Friday, and we're doing okay. We're starting to turn that corner, and I just want to say thank you for joining me to hear a little country music. And on the count of 3, can I get a yeehaw? Say 1, 2, 3! Yeehaw! Drink it down.
Someone wants to ask the Granny Rich.
So this is the Granny Rich Reserve. So right now I'm in South Carolina. I'm not in Nashville. We're in this little old beach house, and brought me some Granny Rich. And I wanted to tell you about what this is. So this is Redneck Riviera whiskey. This is the Granny Rich part. And 10% of every bottle sold goes to the Folds of Honor. And tonight, we're going to continue this tradition. If you have a Venmo account, and most of you probably do, you can actually Venmo a tip to Folds of Honor. It's just at Folds of Honor. If you like the way I'm singing, if you're having a good time, and you feel like hitting a 5, 10, 20, 100 to Folds of Honor, you can do that right through your account, and it all goes to them. But if you see this bottle around your part of town, there's 10,000 stores now carrying Redneck Riviera whiskey. RedneckRiviera.com has all the stores located. And I'm just going to say this. I'm proud of this. In the past 2 years, sales off of this whiskey right here have now funded over 110 scholarships for kids who lost a parent in combat. Bingo. That's how we do it in this country, right? We don't need the government to help us out. We help each other out. And when we see there's a need, we step up to the plate. So when the show's over, go hit redneckriviera.com, and I bet you're going to find a store near you. I mean, 10,000 stores, that's a lot. So I bet you'll probably find one. I was thinking about what to sing tonight. I thought, well, a 1928 bluegrass song and some Ricky Skye is a good way to kick it. Yeah, but what if I just went to the other side of the kind of music I like, and I bet you like it too. Something like this. Look, I broke a string. But guess what? I got it fixed. Hold on. Back up. Won't miss a lick. Well, this business down on Market Square. She's standing in her underwear, looking down from a hotel room. Nightfall will be coming soon. Say, oh my, my. Oh, hell yeah. Gotta put on that party dress. Buy me a drink, sing me a song. Take me as I come, cause I can't stay long. Say last dance with Mary Jane. One more time to kill the pain. Yeah, I feel summer creeping in, and I'm tired of this town again. Oh, say, see the America. Come on. Hey, well, I don't know, and I've been told you never slow down, you never grow old. Tired of screwing up, tired of going down, tired of myself and tired of this town. Oh my, my, oh hell yeah, gotta put on that party dress. Buy me a drink, sing me a song, take me as I come, cause I can't stay long. Say last dance with Mary Jane. One more time to kill the pain. Hell, I feel summer creeping in, and I'm tired of this town again. my backup guitar, huh? We got you covered. We got you covered. It wasn't even tuned right. I think it's time for our special guest to arrive. Now, so our special guest this week is a guy that I have known for so long. Matter of fact, I don't think anybody in country music has ever even done an interview with the two of us and asked us the question, hey, when's the first time you guys ever met? Trust me, it's going to blow your mind when you hear how I know this fella. But you know him as the lead singer of Rascal Flatts. You know him as arguably one of the best vocalists alive. Does anybody sing like this guy? Don't think so. So I've always wondered, how can you sing all them licks, son, and still be country? But there ain't a more country boy than this fella. So it's my pleasure to bring to the John Rich Happy Hour the one and only Mr. Gary LeVox. Bring him in here now. This is like old school. We're gonna bring him in. Let's bring him. Oh, there he is. Hold on a minute. Hey, what you doing, man?
Well, I heard there was some live music, and I haven't seen any. Doesn't look like I'm going to the rest of the year, so I'm gonna get on this thing, Happy Hour, to watch you every Friday.
Well, that's not a bad idea. I think you'd have a good time if you did it. Is that going to be part of your regular scheduled programming?
It might have to. We don't have a choice at this point, I don't think.
Well, I know you really can't see me right now, but I can see you. And let me tell you something. You look sexy. I just want to say that.
Well, and you know what? Even though that I don't, you're so imprinted in my mind. We've been brothers for so long. I know exactly how hot you are right at this second.
I mean, come on, dude. Come on,
buddy.
Hey, bring that, yank your camera down a little bit so we can zero you up. I see a lot of sky, not much of Gary. Oh, there he is.
Any better?
Look at that American meat hanging out, ladies and gentlemen. American meat.
That old thing right there?
You know, that old titer. Ain't nothing to it.
Come out.
Ain't nothing to it. Man, thank you for coming on. And I was telling everybody earlier that I think it's such a blessing, honestly, to be able to reach out to an old friend and talk, catch up, because this stuff will make you crazy, right?
Man, I'm telling you, you run out of options. You know, just it's weird. It's one thing when we get a schedule and we're how you and I do, and it's like, okay, we can do this show, and we're trying to strategically put shows together, and then when somebody just pulls the rug out and goes, well, you don't have a chance to put nothing together. It's hard to not be in control,
Well, and it makes you wonder, well, when's that going to be done with, and when do we actually get back doing what we actually do? And the answer is right now there is no answer, which is I've never experienced that before. Have you?
No, Lord, no. It's terrible, and as bad as, especially. I mean, this is our time. This is when Rascal Flatts, Big and Rich. This is where we go do our thing. It's where we grew up in the festivals and the fairs and the amphitheaters, sitting in the lawn seats. I mean, that's who we are. That's what we do.
Yeah, I mean, this time of year is when it gets live. I mean, this is when you're going, hey, this is when you smell the diesel blasting out of the back of the bus, and somewhere in a cornfield in Iowa, there's 30,000 people that can't wait to hear you, sing, life is a highway, I'm gonna drive it all night long, right?
Right, that'd be on Friday, and then we got college football coming in the fall, and so we're not going to get to hear all that stuff with you, and
right
for the game time.
So where are you sitting right now, man? You look like you're in a pretty comfortable spot.
Yeah, I'm out at my ranch. I'm out here in the hills of Tennessee.
Well, it looks beautiful. Can you give us the exact address? That way we can all come out and say hello.
I'll drop you a pin.
Hey, drop me a pin. Yeah, do that.
Buddy, we've been friends since, 98?
It was about 98, 99, and I was just telling the folks that I don't think they know the story of when I ran into you and Joe Don and, DeMarcus and all these guys. And
Yeah.
Walk us through that, man, because the way you describe it is it's so visual, man. It was a pretty incredible thing. We didn't think it was incredible when it was going down. I'm glad our bar tabs are only halfway done when it actually happened, or we might have forgotten some of it. But walk everybody through the day you and I ran into each other.
You know, it was down on Printer's Alley, and which was. I mean, I remember coming from Ohio and just being so iconic that I was walking that brick road in that alley with all the names, the Hank Cochrans and the Willies and the Paychecks and you're looking at all this, what country music was, and the thing that drew me to Nashville, not just growing up always just loving and singing country and bluegrass and gospel and all of that. But, man, I'm walking the streets where these legends of country music history are. Well, I end up bumping into guy named John Rich down there.
What was he like? What was that John Rich guy like about 1999? I mean, be careful now. My kids are watching, so watch out what you say.
Cash, go to sleep, buddy.
Go to sleep, Cash.
It was. We were all just sitting there with a dream and a hope, and of course you were ahead of us because you were actually doing Lone Star, or just finished with Lone Star, I think.
Yeah, I'd just been fired from Lone Star, so I don't know how far ahead I was, but I get your point. Like I had a couple of hits at that point.
Right. Yeah, and it was funny because I remember before I moved to Nashville, was sitting there being in Ohio, and I'd come, and Jay and I would ride on the weekends and stuff, and I remember going in the first time, like, what a karaoke bar in Columbus, Ohio, but, I'm down here at Barbara's, and we're down at Lonnie's and all this stuff, and it's like, there's Tanya Tucker, and there's Mark Chestnut.
Right.
And there, and it was just like, my mind was...
Hey, there's Daryl Singletary.
Right.
Remember that?
Absolutely.
I mean, like, you're sitting there going, I'd sure like to make country music for a living, and then you hear Daryl Singletary and go, I'm screwed. It's over. Like, there's no way I'm ever going to do it.
No, he did that way.
And God bless him, by the way. I passed away way too young, but that was the scene down there. I think Nashville's lost that scene in a lot of ways, but you and I got to experience that. So what happened right after we met each other? I mean, how long after that till you and the boys decided to make it real?
Well, we actually had some labels looking and stuff. Fiddle and Steel was so small that we actually built a big enough fan base and a big enough, I mean like 12 people, Baker's dozen.
Right.
But, enough where they had bought the club next to it, knocked the wall down, and so we started playing. So we started playing in there in 98, and we actually got signed in 99, and then our first record came out June 6th, D-Day, 2000.
And the first song was it Praying for Daylight?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
And now, do you still know the words to your first single? I mean,
I've got the lights turned up, the doors locked, the bedroom TV's on. Doing the only thing that gets me through the night since you've been gone. Praying for daylight when... You got to change it up melody-wise or you'll drive yourself insane.
I mean, I was wondering, did you have to cinch your belt up to hit those notes? But then the more I heard you, I went, no, that's just how high he can actually sing. I mean, it's incredible.
Brother, you right there with me. What are you talking about? I learned from you. You old tenor singer.
Well, I mean, I sing high, but I don't. Nobody sings like you. Nobody sings like Gary LeVox ever. And did you find it before I ask you to sing a couple here? And I know everybody's waiting for you to sing a couple. Did you find that you ran into a little headwinds in Nashville with your style of laying down a melody?
Yeah, for sure. Because I had so many influences, and plus when Flat started, we came in right at the tail end of the boy band stuff, with Backstreet and NSYNC and all of that. And we were just kind of taking on like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing. But I think, after, some mild success, first record, but it was with Praying for Daylight and then Why You Loved Me and a couple. But when I'm Moving On hit, then it's kind of, on that first record, it's kind of when they took us serious, like, oh, okay, well, maybe this isn't just a dancing, it's like, look, I can promise you dancing, and we'll get crazy, but
Well, because if you're going to be honest, I mean, obviously you have just a ton of pop licks in the way you move, but people don't realize you're one of the country's dudes in all the format. How did that ever mesh together? Like, what was the meshing of those two things?
You know what it was, John Boy, was it started down at the Fiddle and Steel. So we had so many influences. I was always so moved by amazing singers. So like we would go into like Fiddle and Steel, you know, like we would do and start playing stuff. Well, there's already a George Strait and a Randy Travis and a Buck Owens. So I was so just musically influenced by great singers that I would take. Well, last night I dug your picture out from our dressing room.
Set it on the table and I talked to it till 4. Can you go write some more love letters right up till the break of dawn? I've been sitting alone digging up bones. Hey, you know, I think some of our young country artists don't have the benefit of being close enough to the greats.
Yeah.
That they're too distant from them to a certain degree. Do you find that?
Yeah, for sure. It's well, and a lot of it, you know, I mean, that some of these people's first experience is live on Idol or The Voice, or you know what I mean. I mean, their first experience.
Or the internet. I mean, the internet's now the big thing. So yeah. Which there's no pressure to sing into your phone and then post it on the internet. Pressure is what turns coal into diamonds. I mean, pressure is what makes you a precious gem. And pressure, I think, for guys like you and I and guys before us, pressure is the one thing that you don't necessarily look forward to it, but you look forward to seeing if you can deal with it. And if you can, you might actually have something great. Agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we've had the wisdom and the gift to be able to play clubs and honky tonks and figure out what worked and what didn't work. So we either fell on our face or we made it work, you know?
Well, what's on your mind to sing tonight, man? You got I thought you said you might have Neil coming around, or are you just going to sing? How do you want to do it, man? Everybody wants to hear you sing a little bit.
Well, I couldn't get a hold of Neil, and my acoustic guitar's up at my other place up there.
But you know what? You don't even need it, and that's the cool thing about you is Aqua Velva style, right?
Can you smell me through the screen?
Oh man, you smell like a $2 bill. I love it. I'd kiss you right on the earlobe right now if I was close enough, man. I tell you what.
That wouldn't be the first time. Wouldn't be the first time.
Hey, go through 2 or 3 songs that in your mind are some of your favorite songs you ever recorded, and just sing them off the cuff, man. Honestly, if I'd rather hear you that way. Everybody knows you got that ability, man. So, what's on your mind? Sing to America for a minute.
You know, I think at this time and this point in life, with everything so crazy, you know, I think it's if we did, it's like a storm that cuts a path, breaks your will. It feels like that. You think you're lost, but you're not lost on your own. You're not alone. I will stand by you, and I will help you through when you've done all you can do and you can't cope. I will dry your eyes, and I will fight your fight, and I will hold you tight, and I won't let go.
Dude, you are an absolute freak. And I know you know that. But a cool thing about you that most of your fans are never going to know is that you don't act like you've got that ability. You're just a regular guy, but you know you got it, you know, when you want to pull it. Which maybe that's part of the reason why you ain't got to act that way, because, you know, you got it. You know what I mean? So
you know, I got to give all the credit and glory to God, man. There ain't no way that I could have chose this path for myself, you know. So I just give it to him, and you know, it's because I've never had a vocal lesson or anything. Like I said, it's just trial and error. It's the same kind of path you and I took. You figured out what what you're good at and what you weren't. You know, so I'm glad I was just good at something.
Well, it's also cool. I think you would probably agree with this, that country singers, there's all kinds of reasons you like a particular country singer. Like, we like you because what you just did, stuff like that. Well, that's not how I sing. But some people like how I sing because they like how I deliver it. Or some people like how Keith Whitley sang it, or Ricky Skaggs, or Earl Thomas Conley, or
Yes, sir.
Randy Owen. You know what I mean?
Yep,
People like
for
that.
sure.
And
Rodney
I think
Raven.
absolutely that's the great thing about country music is we're allowed to deliver it how we want to, and it's pretty much personalized per artist. I think that's the difference between being an artist and a singer. An artist is somebody that only sings it like that, man. That's the only place you're gonna get it.
Well, appreciate that, brother. Never been said better.
Well, I appreciate it. You know, I worked on it a long time. So, so what else is on your mind? Give me another one, man. People
Man,
tuned in to hear you sing, son.
Well, shoot.
Are you drinking a cocktail, by the way? I have to check on that. This is the John Rich Happy Hour. I got to make sure. What are you drinking tonight? That's
You
a
know
tiny
what?
little cup. What is that? Oh, that's a big
literally-
cup.
Yeah, it's literally just Diet Coke. I've done ran out of everything.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Quarantine.
Well, if you've ran out of everything, then I'm sending you a case of Granny Rich Reserve Redneck Riviera, son. We can't let you be out on the farm all parched.
Right.
Okay?
I'm about to pass out some parts, buddy.
My God. Hey, can you say thank you to the lady who's holding my phone right now? Her name is Shayla, and she's a big friend.
Hey, Miss Shayla, I don't know what to say, but thank you so much, and I will never arm wrestle with you ever.
Thank you.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Hey, so can I make a Rascal Flats request?
Come on, brother.
God bless the broken road, let me stray to you. Just give me a verse and a chorus, man, if you don't mind.
Well, I set out on a narrow way many years ago, hoping I would find true love along the broken road. But I got lost a time or two. But I wiped my brow and kept pushing through. I couldn't see how every sign pointed straight to you. And every long lost stream led me to where you are. Another super broke my heart. They were like northern stars, pointing me on my way into your loving arms. Oh, this much I know is true, that God bless the broken road, let me straight to you.
Oh, man. That is smoother than English leather. I'll tell you that. That is hot karate, brute, all day. All day. Hey, I wanted to ask you a question. So Memorial Day, we just had that last weekend, and I know you played all over the world, you and the boys. Any thoughts you have on our military, our vets, our active duty?
Oh, well, they're everything. They're absolutely everything. We support. But actually, you know, we all do the USO tours, and there's just got so many friends in the military, and freedom is not free. Our men and women of this country, service women that volunteer. This is not sign up, but volunteer, put their life on the line for you and I to sit at home, to go to work, to do this and to do that in life. That's how much they love our country. I've got to meet so many people, World War II vets, Dakota Meyer, Congressional Medal of Honor winner, one of my dear friends.
Right.
You know, it's just they're true American heroes, and I'm so thankful and blessed that I live in the greatest country on the face of the earth. And the only reason we have that gift is our men and women in the military, their service members, their families. I mean, it's what an unselfish act and sacrifice that every time I see a vet or somebody in military or in uniform that I will never forget to tell them.
That's right.
Thank you for your service. God bless you. We love you, and we're behind you 100%.
Yeah. Would you consider that what you've managed to accomplish in your life to qualify as the American dream?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure.
Like well, if I can ask, from where you started to where you are today, is that the American dream in reality?
You know, it really truly is. If you can even grasp the things that you've been able to do. First of all, I think it's the American dream. If you get paid to do what you love to do, that in itself is a gift. But I think, you know, to truly not quit, focus. As many times you've been beat down, but you continue to fight, continue to go on, and know it's not an option, and it actually works. And it's an amazing gift, and truly the American dream. You know, I think my biggest regret in life that I didn't get to do, or that I didn't do, was serve our military. You know, I wish I could have. I wish I would have, I should say.
You know, I've had the same feeling because we meet all these great men and women, and we didn't serve. We fell into the cracks of when things were going on. But I think maybe guys like me and you and our fans have ways that they can support the efforts. One of them's Folds of Honor, which I know that you know very well. And tonight, if you go on Venmo, Gary, which everybody's got that app. You can actually, if they like Gary LeVox and John Rich and what we're doing, you can actually hit at Folds of Honor on Venmo for, let's call it a tip, right? I mean, when's every night you get to hear me and you hang out and talk for a minute? So if you like that, a 5, 10, 20, 100, if you want to do that, send it straight to Folds of Honor at Venmo. And, you know, they put kids through college who lost a parent in combat. And I can't think of a stronger way to say thank you for your service. How about you?
There's no way. I'll be on Venmo when we get done. Just because I like what you said, I'm going to give it. I'm going to tip Brother Dan Rooney. LT, I guess, right? Lieutenant Colonel.
Yeah, he's Lieutenant Colonel Dan. Yeah, he actually asked me. He actually asked me to ask you something live, so that you would be under so much pressure that you might have to say yes. But on the 4th of July, assuming you don't have a concert, which I don't know about you, but they've shut all the concerts down. Yeah. We're going to do a little thing for Folds of Honor that's kind of like what we're doing now, a live stream that all goes to Folds of Honor. And he wants to base it on what's your favorite Bible verse and what's your favorite country song. I mean, if that don't sound like a perfect situation for guys like me and you, would you be in for something like that? Because Major Dan's watching right now.
I'm in.
Okay, Lieutenant Colonel, we got one. We got one down. Lieutenant Colonel, we got one down.
Yes, sir. It's done. I'm gonna kiss him on his bald head too when I see him.
Well, let me sing you a song. All right, I want to give you one. Can you hear this guitar? Can you hear this guitar? Okay.
Oh yeah.
I know it's out of tune. I broke a string on the other one, so I had to grab this one, and I hadn't tuned it yet.
Then I'm used to that. I know exactly what that's supposed to be.
Yeah, because you play with Joe Don, so I know what's going on. We love Joe Don.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, so you're in the frame and I'm in the frame, and I'm going to sing a song, what I would consider the greatest man that ever sang a country song, the classic George Jones. Would that be okay with you?
Come on.
Well, in North Carolina, way back in the hills, lived my old pappy and he had it for steel. He blew out lightning until the sun went down. He filled him a jug and he passed it around. Mighty pleasing, pappy's going squeezing. Ooh, white lightning. Well, a city seeker came in, he said, I'm tough. He said, I want to taste that Bible stuff. He took once a slug and he drank it on down. I heard him a moaning as he hit the ground. Mighty pleasing, Baptist going screaming. Whoo, white light, yeah, the teeming revenues too. Searching for a place where it made his fruit. They was looking, trying to book him, but my baby white lightning. All right, there's one more verse, Gary. There's one more verse. There's one more verse. Well, I asked my old pappy why he called his brew a white lightning instead of Mountain Dew. I took a little sip and right away I knew as my eyes bugged out and my face turned blue. Thunder started crashing, lightning started flashing. Whoo, white lightning. Searching for a place where it made me pretty. There was looking, trying to book it, but my baby came on. Whoo, white lightning. It's good to join my friend Gary LeVox out on the deck in Tennessee somewhere.
Yes, sir, buddy.
Any parting words for the crowd, son?
Hey, listen, love you all. Listen, we're all going to try to get back to work as soon as we can. Rascal Flatts, we got new music coming in the next couple weeks. Y'all check it out. And John Boy, I love you, buddy, and I appreciate you having me on. I guess we'll see everybody with Lieutenant Colonel Dan Rooney on July 4th.
Well, I'll tell him you're confirmed, dude. He's gonna love to hear that, and he's watching right now. So, Lieutenant Colonel, you got Gary LeVox confirmed. Gary, thank you for joining us tonight, man. We love you.
Brother.
What a talent and what a heart you have. And I'm just gonna tell you right now, dude. I met everybody in the business, and you're one of them.
I feel the same, bud.
I appreciate it, man. I love you, son. Have a good
I
night.
love you too, buddy. See you, brother.
Thanks, boss. Wow, okay. Cock that sucker down just a little bit. Well, we're approaching the end of the show here. That was awesome having Gary on. And yes, we are going to do something July 4th. And I guess there's only one last song I can play to finish up the John Rich Happy Hour. Thank you guys for joining. As you can tell, Folds of Honor becomes a big part of our conversation no matter what we're doing. I'll tell you a crazy story. Last night, I rented this little house here in South Carolina on the beach. Got my kids out here. And this fella walks across the street and recognized me. And he said, "Hey, you John Rich?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Man, we love what you do with Folds of Honor. And my dad does too. And we live right over there." And it was literally across the street. I said, "Well, I appreciate that." He said, "If you'd come over there, we'd love to make a donation to Folds of Honor. If you just come over and shake my dad's hand. He's a Vietnam War vet. And would you mind doing that?" I said, "Absolutely. 100% I will be in your house." And so we did that yesterday. And they donated thousands of dollars to the Folds of Honor. So I would like to say to you all, don't forget where you come from. Don't forget why we have a country in the first place. Don't let anybody out there that's telling you that you can't do what you want to do. Within reason right now, I guess. But at the end of the day, it's America, right? We're allowed to have freedom in this country. Risk assessment is something we're allowed to have on our own accords for ourselves and our families. And last night, it was proven to me yet once again that people support our military. Redneck Riviera supports it too. When I get through with this next song, stay on your computer, go to redneckriviera.com, put your zip code in the store locator, find a store near you, 10% of every bottle going to the Folds of Honor. Now here we go. Last song. For all the crazy country girls out there, and thank you once more to Shayla Black for holding this camera up the whole time. Here we go. Yeah, when I walk into the room, passing out $100 bills and the gills and the thrill, like the horns on my Silverado grill. High by the bar, triple round the crowd, everybody's getting down at this town. It ain't never gonna be the same. Y'all sing it, 'cause I sound love. down about nothing. I'm singing and bling blinging while the girls sing it, girls. Long necks down, and I wouldn't trade old Leroy. My Chevrolet for your Escalade, your freak parade. I'm the only John Wayne left in this town, and I saddle up my own and I ride into the city. I make a lot of noise, cause the girls down so busy. Be riding up and down Broadway, my old studly boy, and the girls say, Sarah's riding down the boy. Everybody say, Sarah's riding down the boy. Now I have one last question before I wrap up tonight. If you have any final comments, I'm actually going to read the comments for a minute because I've been busy. But let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Yeehaw. Save a horse, ride my cowboy. Well, that's up to you, darling. Well, I'm a thoroughbred, that's what she said. The back of my truck bed is beaters getting buzzed on studs. That on the song. Backcountry road, we were flying high, flying as wide, having all shows a bigger each time I was going. Nice fun, she let me go. Get your hands up, come on, but her evaluation of my cowboy reputation had me begging for salvation all night long. Yeah, well, I took her around digging the frog, introduced her to my old bird dog, sang her every Gretchen Wilson song I could think of, and we made love, and I saddled up my own, and I ride into the city. I make a lot of noise, cause the girls down so busy. Be riding up and down Broadway, my old studly boy, and the girls say, save a horse, ride a cowboy. Everybody say, save a horse, ride a cowboy. What? Save a horse, ride a cowboy. Last time everybody singing, save a horse, ride a cowboy. God bless y'all. Thank you for joining the John Rich Happy Hour. I'll see you next Friday night, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern with another special guest. Y'all have a great weekend and keep strong, America. Can I get a hell yeah? God bless you.